It's hard to believe it, but the penultimate episode of The Bad Batch has come and gone. I'll be breaking down this episode with my 5 main takeaways, as well as some predictions going into the grand finale. First things first, guys, be sure to like and subscribe for more Star Wars content, and if you're interested, check out our brand new YouTube membership. Alright, let's get to The Bad Batch. Spoilers ahead for episode 14 of season 3, Flash Strike. Overall, I thought this was yet another great episode of this already fantastic season. It's clearly putting the chips in order for an epic closing chapter. For some reason going in, I did think this episode would be sort of a blasters blazing escape sort of episode, but it makes sense that they're taking their time. Now, let's talk about my favorite moments of the episode. The Batch gets shot down out of the sky by Imperial defenses, making their way to the base a lot tougher than planned. Luckily, Echo was still aboard the science transport and cleverly disguises himself as a stormtrooper to easily get around Tantus. This of course gave me huge Rebels vibes, but unlike old Rex, Echo seems to fit in the armor without any complaints. Speaking of fit, we see Echo steal the hand off a droid while perfectly delivering the dad joke of, "Thanks for the hand." Now all I could think of was this Echo figure from Hot Toys from years ago that teased him having some sort of go-go gadget hand. Well, now he at least has that robo hand. On a more sad note, people have pointed out that Echo in all white armor is a parallel to his old friend Fives in white armor while he was incognito in Season 6 of the Clone Wars. And we all know how that ended. Something I didn't see coming at all was the return of Rampart, and I definitely didn't see him oddly fitting in with the Batch. The last few episodes have been great with the back and forth between our boys and Rampart, and this episode delivered again. Rampart is not at all with this plan, and things keep getting worse for him, as he's basically thrown out of the ship by Hunter, pushed around in the jungle by Wrecker, and verbally abused by, well, all of them. He does deserve all of it, though. He does finally take a moment to sit and rest, and of course he happens to be laying on some sort of crazy forest beast, sending him and the Batch running for their lives. Poor Rampart, not really poor Rampart, ends up tripping and getting caught by stormtroopers, but I have a feeling Crosshair will save him, since he's the one to ask, "Where's Rampart?" There's a nice moment in this episode where Crosshair and Rampart are talking, and Crosshair mentions how he's changed from his selfish ways. Rampart finds this hard to believe and gives him a sarcastic remark. I'm sure that'll come around full circle if and when Crosshair comes to save him. A very cool visual and sound moment in this episode was when the Imperial defenses kicked in and started blasting at the Batch entering the atmosphere. We see a cool moment inside the vault with Omega and the kids where the table begins to rumble, shaking the toys on the table. Right away, Omega can tell it's blaster fire and grins. She knows her brothers are there to save her. On Twitter, showrunner Jennifer Corbett did her weekly tease with a clip of the cup shaking in Jurassic Park. Many of us thought this would be a tease to the Zillo Beasts, but hey, that is coming. Omega finally makes her way up the elevator shaft looking area of the base that she found, as she tries to find a way for her and the kids to escape. She finally makes her way to a vent where she can see the Zillo Beast being tortured and contained. At first, she's in shock of seeing the beast again, but probably also sad to see the state of the poor thing. She then realizes that may be their ticket out of this place once and for all. She returns to the group just in time and later tells them she found their way out. There's been a lot of speculation this whole season that the Zillo Beast would be featured whenever the big breakout happens, and now it's all but confirmed. Who would have thought something from all the way back in Clone Wars Season 2 would have such a big role in this? Emery Carr has low-key been one of my favorite characters this season, and her turn to the good side has slowly but surely been coming around. She clearly didn't realize how evil Hemlock and the Empire really were until all this business with the children. Earlier this season, we saw Rex say to Wolf,
"Open your eyes. You're hunting a child."
It's really the same deal here. Emery has had that awakening not only seeing the kids, but seeing Cad Bane bring in a baby to them. We could tell she really has been thinking about things. But we finally get confirmation she's going to turn when she confronts Echo. A truly amazing moment in this episode. Emery noticing it's Echo under the Stormtrooper armor and calling out his name. I literally had chills. Emery is going to help Echo get to the vault, and honestly, I'm terrified for both of them. So let's get on to some predictions for the finale. For a season and a half, or even longer than that, we've dreaded that this show will end in absolute tragedy. The closer we've gotten to the finale, I think that's becoming less likely. But with that being said, I think we're going to be losing one more from the Batch, and I think it's going to be Echo. We know he's not with Rex and Rebels, and I can't think of any reason he wouldn't be other than that he was lost to battle. However, one thing I think that does go against that prediction is that Echo has barely been in this season, so it would be a little lame to do that and just kill him off in the end. I don't expect this to be a bloodbath of an episode, but other deaths that I think will happen will be Dr. Hemlock, Scalder, and Scorch. Obviously, the main villain usually dies at the end of a story, and that'll be Hemlock, possibly at the hands of the Zillo Beast too? Maybe that Crosshair Omega episode from earlier this season was foreshadowing. We basically know that the Zillo Beast is going to be unleashed somehow by Omega, and that's probably going to cause all of Tantus to go up in a blaze, with the kids, the clones, most of the Batch, and maybe even Rampart and Emery escaping? So what will happen with Omega and the Batch if they make it out? My bet would be one of two things. Option A, they settle down somewhere with Cut Locane and stay off the grid. Or They double down and join a full-on clone rebellion with Rex. Maybe we don't have to say goodbye to the Batch after all. They could be featured alongside Rex, Wolf, Gregor, and Hauser. Not to mention all the clones freed from Tantus. Rex basically has an army now if that happens. How epic would that be? It really makes more and more sense that we'll see a show like that, especially that we're not going to tie up Wolf's story from earlier this season, and Cody. They left us hanging with that Cody cliffhanger last season, and it would be perfect to see that continued in a Clone Rebellion show. If that was to happen, what do you guys think that show would be called? Anyways, there you have it. My favorite moments from Flash Strike and predictions for the finale. What do you guys think? Did you like this episode? What's going to happen in the finale? Like and subscribe for more content, guys. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.